You probably have heard about this, the Ned rig, catching fish all over the country. It's kind of one of those, underground baits that no one really talked about over the last 3 to 5 years. But over the last, 12 to 18, 24 months, this bait is really becoming a universal bait that you can use all over the United States. This bait really got its start out in the Midwest, rock holes, Table Rock, Bull Shoals, all those Midwest lakes, Beaver Lake. It's a finesse technique, and that's really why it comes from those areas. Really clear water and, fickle fish, sometimes very hard to catch. You can maybe sometimes see them cruising through the water. They're on docks or rocks or different types of hard cover, sometimes grass as well. And the Ned rig provides a way to have a very finesse presentation to elicit strikes from fish that often don't take other baits. So that's why the Ned rig has become really, really popular. I've got to show you a couple of hooks and ways that I like to rig the Ned rig and a few different styles of Ned rigging that I'll utilize out on the water. The first one is the bait. The bait itself, the TRD made by Z-Man, is probably the most common Ned rig you find out there. But you can use a lot of different other things. A Strike King Ocho, you can cut it down, make it small, maybe a 3 to 4 or even up to a 5-inch bait. Yamamoto Cinco, you can use it the same way. Any of those soft stick baits are really great baits on the Ned rig. I don't generally use any kind of baits that have a lot of flutter to them. I want it to be really motionless. I want all of the motion to come from the bait, just a natural fall, real natural presentation. So I generally try to use something with not a whole lot of action. And that's why I think these soft stick baits are so important in Ned rigging. The next important fact about Ned rigging is the hook. The hook size, the weight is all really critical in how this bait is going to react falling into the water. Is it going to have a nice subtle kind of gliding presentation that you're looking for, or is it something where you're going to use a bigger style bait with maybe a little bit bigger weight where it just falls straight down into a dock situation or some other type of cover that you could be fishing? But the hook and the lead head or tungsten head that you're going to deliver on this bait is going to be really critical in how this presentation kind of takes its course on the water while you're fishing. This particular hook is my favorite for the 3-inch style baits. And this is a Hayabusa Brush Easy. It's got a couple fiber weed guards, so it becomes really weedless. You can work it through brush. If you've got maybe some brush on the end of docks or you're working it just a little bit offshore, it'll work through those hard cover situations. So it's got a great little fiber weed guard. And the hook side, this is the number 1. The hook size is, again, really important. It's a light wire hook. Because a lot of times when you get bit on this bait, we're going to talk a little bit later about it, but how you want to pull into the fish. It's not really a set, but you're really kind of pulling into the fish. But we're going to get into that a little bit later, but that's why you want a light wire hook for all of your Ned rig applications. The light wire hook is also going to really kind of significantly play a role in how that bait acts naturally with the lighter heads. I try to stay real light, 1/20th, 1/13th. These light baits are generally the best way to fish a Ned rig because, again, it keeps that lifelike and very finesse application. So that's the Hayabusa Brush Easy on the 3-inch. If I'm using a bigger type Ned rig, of course, I want to make sure my hook gets a little bit bigger along with the bait. So I'll go up to a 1/0 size hook on this particular, a longer bait, whether I'm using a cut down Ocho or a long Cinco style bait, long soft stick bait. I'm going to go up to a 1/0 size, but again, critical.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.